If you've ever wondered how a jewelry maker designs, it's mark by mark down to the millimeter. Kansas-grown Sierra Otto has been refining the process for years. To most people, this might look like a lot of sketches, but it's actually a brainstorming session at Sierra Winter Jewelry. So Sierra, we're all curious, how does a sketch like this turn into a finished earring?
Yeah, so I get as many ideas as possible down on paper. Then I'll refine the drawing. I'll do, 2-scale renderings, as I call them, but working down to the millimeter, labeling what is included as far as stones, polish, all of that. And then I usually do a color mapping as well to say, this needs to be raised, this needs to be recessed, just trying to illustrate the best I can how I want my pieces to look.
And it looks like you give a total 360 view. This earring here has a very special story behind it.
Yeah, so this is the Arlene earring, and it's named after my mom. Her middle name is Arlene, and it's just kind of a fun way to include give a piece some personality, and I really like to do that with each piece.
Well, let's take a look at something that is in the works now. Let's see your design process.
Yeah, so this is actually a little sample that I had made, and it just wasn't quite right. So we were kind of playing around with it, and I was like, oh, I'll just, kind of flip it upside down. And so again, it's, drawing everything out to the exact millimeter that I want it. Saying, I want it high polish. I want lapis or opal. I think opals are just beautiful. So these are my sketches.
Okay, can you walk us through the process of how you measure this millimeter by millimeter?
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the process too, is the drawing. But, drawing it out with a stencil or freehand and then using my millimeters and just, really simply marking where things end. I know that I want this to be 15 millimeters wide.
And is that part of the trial and error process? Like, did this come in 15 millimeters, or did you say, hey, we want this a little wider?
Sometimes things come in right, and a lot of times they don't come in right. So yeah, just playing with scale and getting it to be where I want it to be.
Okay, well, one of the most interesting things is always getting the designer's view, getting their eye for the pieces. So Sierra, thank you. When Sierra started her own line, she said that it was a leap of faith, but totally worth it. We'll show you some of her newest and favorite pieces and the stories behind them in the next half an hour. Welcome back. Her brand is Kansas, and her love for jewelry was inspired by her family. A newer stone has worked its way into Sierra Otto's pieces as a special tribute. When you start your own jewelry line, one of the best things is you can create 100% of what you want to, but it also takes a great leap of faith to go out on your own. But today, Sierra Otto can create all those pieces that mean something special to her.
Yeah, like for example, the Harvest necklace is inspired by Kansas. I grew up in the Flint Hills outside of Manhattan, Kansas, and this is kind of my tribute to the wheat fields, the tall grass, everything in the Midwest.
And if you guys can't see that, it actually is a wheat stalk right there, so it takes you right to the heartland. Are there any other pieces that are really special to you?
Actually, the necklace I have on, I have it in a couple different styles, but I'm finally incorporating some opal into my pieces, and my daughter's named Opal, so that's really special to me.
That's beautiful. Now, how would you describe your jewelry style?
It's kind of a modern Southwest, a little bit boho, maybe a little classic too.
And then are there some pieces that specifically represent that?
Yeah, the Astra necklaces I feel like represent that really well. I'm really inspired by all types of jewelry, but my great aunt, she would collect Native American jewelry, and she passed all that down to me, so plays a huge part of my line.
Well, we always love pieces that have a story behind them. I can't help but miss that. It's beautiful. And of course, when you're talking about the Southwest flair, that's right there.
Yeah. And that was one of the first pieces that I included in the line, called the Thunderhead necklace. And again, giving pieces all their own personality has been really important to me. And this is kind of, Southwest inspired, but bringing it back home so you can imagine like the Thunderhead clouds in the sky of Kansas.
Okay, so seems like you have a very specific style, a very specific brand. Now, I think the last piece of this, as a small business, how do you get people to sell it?
Yeah, we're still working on that, but really just being true to myself. I think especially today, we can look around and see what other people are doing, but staying true to what my brand is, my aesthetic, and giving the line it's a personality.
In a few minutes, we'll show you how Sierra Otto got started making jewelry and how to style some of her pieces. Okay, ladies, this is for you. Jewelry is easy to collect, but styling can be more challenging.
Yeah, you found that the designer of Sierra Winter Jewelry takes that into consideration when she's making her pieces.
And her work has come a long way. So this is a delicate silver cuff, and it's Southwest inspired. It was designed by Sierra Otto. Of course, you've been designing jewelry for years, so there's been quite an evolution there.
Yeah, I started making beaded earrings when I was in high school. My sister taught me how to make just like a simple earring, and I sold them for people for game days.
Okay, and then after that, you continued on learning. So you actually told me, I have done all the due diligence. I have done every step that I possibly could.
Yeah, I got my degree in metalsmithing and jewelry design from KU, and then after college, I had another little business where I would make all my jewelry. And then I got a job designing for Solpata Designs, which was based out of Lenexa.
So I have to say that game day earrings that you were talking about in high school, those have to be so different from the metalwork that you're doing now.
Yes, and thank goodness. They're very different. Quality is very important to me when I go through and design. Even down to making sure the posts are the exact size they need to be. And then styling the jewelry too, that all plays into my design process.
Okay, let's think about that. So you're looking at outfit of the day, outfit of the night, and of course, everyone wants to have complementing jewelry. So how does that work itself into the design process?
Well, I look at what's, like this necklace, for example, it's really versatile. You can wear it with a crew neck, or Madison has on a, kind of a plunging neckline, and this can go from like day to night really easy. So versatility is huge.
I also love how true to the Kansas-Missouri state line you kind of are, because what's the name of this piece again?
This is the Astra necklace, after the Kansas state motto.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So Sierra's company is celebrating 3 years in May. She says that she's gonna have a party, so who knows, maybe we'll be able to stop by, or anyone can. Yeah. She's expected to stay true to her style.
I dig it. I especially like the Kansas homage at Astra to Aspera through the stars through difficulty, the Kansas state motto. Very neat.
The necklace you just finished on was called the Astra.
Yeah, this is very cool.